Hi, good people. You are once again welcome to my Bits TV. Today we're going to continue with what we started last week on do's and don'ts of courtship. Do's and don'ts of courtship. So today we are doing the don'ts. Last week we did do's in courtship. Today we'll continue or we'll conclude by doing don'ts. What you should watch out for, what you shouldn't be doing whilst you are courting. I am your counselor, JK. You are once again welcome to my Beat TV. Welcome on board. All right, so we started by looking at do's. That's when you are in courtship. Things that you can do. We stated that you can visit places of interest together. You can inform your parents and seek for their blessings. And then we said that you do talk more about your plans, your future plans, your fears, your aspiration. You talk about your cultural and tribal differences. Then we also talked about confining in a counselor or an elderly person who has already been married. And then we also talk about that you do avoid being in a lonely place where probably you may be tempted to go intimate where it's not time for you to go. Now we are looking at don'ts, as I'm saying. In courtship is not yet marriage. You should know. The other time we said that courtship is a period where two people understudy themselves to see whether they are compatible enough to marry. Okay? So courtship is not yet marriage. So in courtship, you court one person at a time. So do court one person at a time. You don't court more than one person at a time. You see, some time ago we talked about dating. Yes, dating is there. You can date more than one person at the same time. But after dating and you have seen what you actually want, then you zero in to courting. Okay, so here courting, we're saying that you shouldn't court or do not court more than one person at a time, because here is the moment that you have zeroed in, you are getting ready, you are doing preparation to be together as a man and the wife. So say do not court more than one person at a time. And then do not engage in sexual acts because you are not yet couples. Do not engage in caressing and kissing because you are not yet married. What I want to say here is that if you don't take care and in courtship you engage in sexual act, you engage in so deep, intimate relationship like that, if it happens that you see that you are not compatible and you break up, that's where problem comes, where one party, especially the ladies, will feel cheated because the man, as they put it, had used her. And my ladies, do not use sex as a trap to trap the man. If I allow him to have sex with me, I'm likely to trap him. Men do not see sex as love. That's what I said the other time. If man loves you, he loves you. He may not even ask for sex. So it is not good. Otherwise, one will feel cheated And that's where the broken heart situation may come in. So I'm saying, in courtship, do not engage in sex. And then the reason why I added caressing and kissing is that these things will lead to other. As you are kissing each other, as caressing each other, it will lead to sexual intercourse, which may not augur well for you, especially those of you who are Christians. If it happens so that you get yourself, you are not lucky, you are not so careful, and you get yourself pregnant before the marriage, it's a disgrace to you in the church. And then, as a woman, if you are not properly married, I mean the traditional way, if you are not properly married and you become pregnant, or a man have sex with you, when it comes to our tradition, we see that the man had made fool out of you, because it's expected that before the man will have a fool before the man actually have the better part of you to have an intercourse with you, traditionally the man should have come to the family, ask for your hand. So if the man had not done that, the man had not made the intention or seek your hand from your parent and have sex with you, the Akans especially and the other tribes, we see that as a disgrace to you, the girl, and your family. So the Akans call it Wobu Kwasia, like the guy has fooled you. So we always advise that you don't engage in sexual activities or physical sexual relationship or physical sexual intimacy before you are married. Let me say here again, when you begin a courtship, you begin a relationship with sex, you may not be able to look for other physical things that you need to watch out for. Because the courtship situation, I said that, is a state that we study each other to see how compatible we are, whether we can stay together as a man and wife. And then, if sex precedes the relationship, if the focus is on sex, you may not be able to see the other things that the lady may be hiding or the man may be hiding. So you cannot make an informed judgment whether you need to be in the relationship or you should break up. And many a times, most of the relationships that end up on the way, most of them, they started sexual relationship before they actually got married. If it happens so, it doesn't augur well. And sometimes the men may pretend, or some men may pretend, oh, I love you, I'm going to marry you, so don't worry, we can still have sex. If you don't take care, this man will have the better part of you and then will abandon you. I told you, for men, sex is not love. So a man can have sex with you, but he doesn't love you. A man may love you, but will not even demand for sex until you marry. So take note, in courtship, do not engage in sexual acts or kissing or caressing that will lead to other things. And then, as Christians, sex before marriage is sin. And as Christians, you know, as Muslims, you know that sex before marriage is sin before the Almighty Allah. You know. So every aspect of it, it's there. Even the traditionalists, the purely traditionalists, it is a taboo for a girl to have sex before marriage. It's a taboo. So in some areas, if you are not married and you have sex, something untoward will happen to you, the girl. in some communities, in some traditional settings, it is there. So let us all know, let us all accept that sex before marriage, it's sin. Christians know as sin, Muslims know as a sin, and then even the traditionalists, the spiritualists, they also see that as sin. So let us take guard of it. Somebody can tell you, if you really love me, let me have sex with you to prove the love. Sex does not prove any love. Prove the love without sexual intercourse. And then, don't rush to stay together in courting. Don't rush to stay together. Some of you, as soon as they started courting or they start courting, you see the woman will move her items, her things, her belongings to the man's place and stay with the man. Oh, we are going to marry very soon, so it's good I am here. It is not good. It's not right. Don't go. Because as soon as you move in there, you are living as a man and a wife. And there will be other intimacy which may lead to what I told you in the first place. Wait till you are married properly and then you move to the man's house. That brings glory to you, the woman. That brings glory to the woman's family. Don't rush to stay together. And then do not go washing and be cooking for the man who is not yet your husband. I said courtship is not marriage. So it is needless. It's not necessary to go and be washing for the man. Go and be cooking for the man. No. If once a while the man feels, oh, you can just prepare this food for me, you can even do that in your house. And then you bring it to the man's house. You can once a while. Maybe there's a special dish that the man wish somebody does it for him. Especially the men who are not living with their parents. Once in a blue moon. But on the whole, do not go and stay and be cooking. The man gives you what we call chop money, and then you prepare food. And then you be there and be washing for him. No. If you are not married, do not go and be cooking and be washing and be cleaning the man's house. Yes, if you visit and you think that the room is unkept, and then you feel like helping him get things in order in the room, why not? But not as a duty that you wake up every morning or every week, you go there and wash his things and cook for him. No, that is not accepted in my courtship. And then do not demand money for your upkeep. There are some women or there are some girls, as soon as a man proposes to her, as soon as a man enters, sometimes even in dating, as soon as the man starts to dating her, as soon as the man proposes, as soon as the man enter courtship with her, or some of them from day one, they start demanding for financial things, for financial upkeep. And Brother Kwesi, won't you give me money for this? Brother, won't you give, Brother Charles, won't you give me money for this? No, do not demand money for your upkeep. What we call chop money. He is not your husband. He is not your father. Until you marry, do not go demanding money from him. Some of you, they as soon as you date, as soon as you propose, then and I don't have phone. Buy an iPhone for me. Buy Nokia so and so for me. Buy Huawei this for me. Buy whatever. It is not his duty to buy phone for you at that stage. He is not your husband. He is not your wife. And you see, sometimes, let me tell you this, ladies, when you do that from day one, the man may either abandon the relationship, the man may leave you, the man may not continue with the relationship. And sometimes if you don't take care, the man will lure you, just have sex with you, and abandon you because you have taken his money. But I'm saying that during courtship, don't demand money. Don't ask him to pay your school fees for you. Don't ask him to give you money to take care of your family, to take care of your mommy and daddy and your siblings. No. Do not demand for any money. For Christ's sake, that's the time that he needs money to prepare for the marriage. That's the time that he needs money to prepare for the traditional marriage and if you do the white man's marriage or the Christian wedding. This is the time that the man needs money. And in courtship, you start demanding iPhones, you start demanding Samsung, you start demanding whatever. You start demanding money here and there. I know there are some ladies during their birthdays, they will demand that their men or their partners take them to an expensive restaurant. That you go and buy me pizza here, go and buy me shawarma here, go and buy me this and take me to such and so restaurant. No. In courtship, don't demand money. If the man feels that, oh, it's my lady's birthday, I'll buy something for her, fine, that's good. If the man feels, oh, I've seen that my girl's phone is not good, I'll buy a phone for her, that's fine. But don't demand those things. And then don't tell lies. In courtship, don't tell lies. Be truthful as possible. Don't hide anything concerning your life. Be clear, be open for the man or for the woman to know. If he is comfortable, he will stay. If he's not comfortable, let him go. Otherwise, if you tell lies and later on he sees, if you don't take care, he will see it when you are married, and your marriage will end. There will be divorce. So do not lie. Do not hide anything. In courtship, be open as much as possible. And tell your partner whatever is hidden. Let him know. If he likes it, he will stay. If she likes it, she will stay. If you are a man and you have born one elsewhere, let the will-be wife, let your partner know. Tell him, oh, I was a bit mischievous and I did this and that, so I have born one, though the child is with the mother. Let the will-be partner or the will-be wife know, so that in future, if this child pops up, it's not going to be a surprise. Be open. Tell your partners your sexual life, so that if somebody pops up and say, oh, this girl was my girl, your current partner knows that, oh, you were with him and he abandoned you and now you are in a new relationship. So it doesn't surprise him. So do not lie. Be open and be truthful as possible. Be open, be honest in your relationship. And then do not continue if the relationship is not working. If you think you are not compatible enough, if you think things are not working together for you, it is better to break up in courtship than to break up in marriage. So here I said, broken relationship is better than broken marriage. Broken relationship is better than broken marriage. So take note. If you think you are not compatible, please do not go further. And sometimes somebody will say, I've spent a lot on this lady, I cannot leave him. I've spent a lot on this man, I cannot leave him. Do not be spending unnecessarily in courtship. Reserve all those things and spend on your wife and spend on your husband, not your partner in courtship. You see, if you spend so much money, especially the men, you spend so much money on the woman, or you, the woman, you demand so much from this man, and it happens that the man also have sexual intercourse with you, that's where you find it difficult to break up, when you see that the marriage is not going to work. Never think that you're going to enter into marriage and then change your partner. Your partner will not change. Your partner will not change. It's very difficult for human beings to change their lifestyle, how the person has lived since he was born. It's very difficult for them to change. They may make adjustments. So don't think you're entering into marriage to change him or to change her. They will not change. But you enter into courtship to see their behaviors, their characters, and see how best you can adjust. So in marriage, it's adjustment. So if you see that, and if you have this in mind, and you think you cannot adjust, you cannot accept it, then you better break up the relationship than to breaking up in marriage. And then let me also add that do not court for a longer period. Do not court for a longer period. I cannot give you timelines, but relatively, do not court for a longer period. Some of you may court 2 years, 3 years in courtship. What are you waiting for? What are you really waiting for? Courtship in 6 months, courtship is in 1 year, courtship in 1.5 years, fine. But 2 years, 3 years, for Christ's sake. And as I said, I can't give a timeline, but relatively, do not court for a longer period. Mostly, you see, if you study the person from afar, if you date people or somebody, and then you later zero in to propose to him, to propose to her, you're going to marry and he accepts. That's where the courtship thing starts. You introduce him or her to your family. That's where the courtship starts. So if you have studied the person from afar before the proposal, you're already convinced about him or her. So the courtship period is just few moments, 6 months to a year or a year and a half should be okay. And by that time, you should be preparing financially for the marriage. So do not court for a longer period. So as I'm ending, let me hit again that courtship is not marriage. And when sex precedes courting, you may end up in an unhappy marriage. So court wisely, think wisely, and court with your eye open. The other time I said that you walk into love, grow into love. Do not fall in love. Remember, courtship is not marriage. Thank you once again. I have been your counselor, JK. And thank you for watching My Beats TV. See you next time. Bye-bye.